to jump right in and get started. First off, I'm in Vegas. I'm here at our corporate office. Jen and I, as you guys know, we moved to Michigan, but we come back here regularly to Vegas to work out of the office and get some meetings done and that sort of thing. So we are back in Vegas for the week, and I'm very excited to be here. And I wanted to share just a couple updates with you guys. So we had a couple really cool sales lately. We had a HempWorks sale for 7/10, which is a cannabis CBD holiday. So we took some of our top selling products. We did 25% off on those. And it was cool. Like, it was amazing. A lot of leaders pushed it, and we definitely saw an increase in sales and volume. And there was some momentum happening, in different teams that were leveraging the HempWorks sale. Also, we did a really cool XE trim promotion as well, which is still live. Okay, so if you haven't had a chance to take advantage of this promotion, it won't be live for probably much longer. So make sure you go out and leverage it with your teams, prospects, customers. It's buy two, get one free of the Wildberry XE trim. It is one of the top selling products in the company. And that product is amazing. I take XE trim, every single day. Love the way it makes me feel. And that particular deal is actually a $40 savings, because traditionally it's, $139 to get, 3 bags, but this is $99, buy two, get one free. So $40 savings on a top selling product. That one's running through the rest of July this month. However, like I said, it's while supplies last, so it may not last for much longer. So if you have, customers, people that are interested in that particular product, definitely reach out to them. Now is a good time to stock up on that one. Okay, another thing I want to mention real quick. We talked about this at our last event, and I spoke about it on one of the previous webinars, but we are now set up in Hong Kong with a fulfillment center. So if you guys have leaders, prospects, people that you know in Asia that are interested in the daily sprays, we have 6 of the sprays that are now able to be shipped into Hong Kong, Malaysia, Singapore, Taiwan. So reach out to your contacts in Asia and get them hooked on the sprays. Now, they can do digital as well. They can do travel. They can do akashics. But we're excited because this, we feel like, is potentially a gateway into the Asian markets with this particular fulfillment center. So reach out to your contacts there in Asia, get them hooked on the sprays, and we're excited to see what we can do in that particular market. Also, I want to give a quick shout out to Nigeria. I know we have a lot of folks on the line in Nigeria. Nigeria has spiked in sales. They're blowing up, specifically with the Fuel Factor X product. We just cleared another shipment there today for FFX. We are ramping up there in Nigeria to make sure that we've got the right staffing needs and supply for the FFX product. These guys are on fire over there in Nigeria. They've done more sales in the last 30 to 45 days than in the last couple of years. So we're working very quickly to get ramped up there in the Nigerian market, and super excited. I mean, look, I have a lot of history with the Fuel Factor X product in Africa. My biggest organization that I had as a distributor was in West Africa. It was in Ghana and it was in Nigeria, because the fuel treatment works so good in Africa. The fuel quality is so bad in Africa. The product, I guarantee you, works twice as good in Africa than it does here in the United States. The other thing is, in Nigeria, the fuel prices just tripled in Nigeria. So there's a huge demand for, the FFX product there. So we're ramping up as quickly as we can. We're so excited to see Africa on the map. It's like the number in the last 30 to 45 days. It's like the number 4 or 5 market in the company right now. So huge kudos to everybody in Nigeria and other parts of Africa. And I just want to say, give us a little time and have some patience as we work on getting more product over there and get ramped up in your market. Okay, another thing that I want to quickly share is we just launched a really exciting pack. This is, the first time that we've done something quite like this. We had in the past we've had some packs, but it was structured a little bit differently, and we decided to put together a House of Brands pack. This was actually at request of a lot of the leaders in the company that were looking for a duplication pack, because when you have a House of Brands, a lot of times when you're talking to a prospect, and let's say that prospect is interested in the business, you may not know exactly which brand or which product to offer to them. Like, let's say they're interested in everything. Let's say they're interested in a lot of things, or you want to expose them to a large variety of products. We haven't really had one go-to pack to send people to. Everything's been kind of, separated, and there's a good reason why things have been separated, but it was time. It was time to put together a House of Brands pack, one big pack that's got huge value, big variety, lots of top selling products, and there's some other perks that I want to walk you guys through with this pack. But if you go to your website, MyDailyChoice.com, and you click on the shop page, and you go to enrollment packs, you're going to see the House of Brands pack. You'll also see a banner on the front end that says, House of Brands. Now, I want to walk you guys through some of the products that are in this pack, and then some of the perks. So first off, you have the daily sprays in the pack. So top selling brand, and we've set the pack up where they can actually customize which sprays they want in the pack. So there's the ability to customize 6 sprays. So that's number one. Number two, you have our 500 milligram tinctures in this pack as well. And you have the ability to customize the flavors of the 500 milligram tinctures. Then we also have our shampoo and conditioners in the HempWorks brand, so you can customize the original formula or the deep hydration. We have the Cosmecology skincare line. There's the eyeshadows, the concealers, the liquid foundation, the blush, the eyeliners, the lip gloss, and so you can customize the shades for all of that. There's also in HempWorks, you have the relief cream. There's a couple body melt, or there's one body melt product in there, which is the liquid collagen. In HempWorks, you also have the CBD gummies, so you can customize the assorted flavors, tropical burst, orange passion fruit, or the wild cherry. Then there's some mantra products in this pack as well, which is the single essential oils and some of the blends. And then last but not least, we've never done this before, but I think it's a great idea, is we added a convention ticket to this pack. So think about this. If you added up the value of all of those products in this pack, the person that's buying it is saving $400. Okay, so they're saving $400. So if somebody came into the business and bought just one product, but then they were going to try to replicate that pack, they're going to pay $400 more. Okay, and then the other thing is the convention ticket is $199. That's the early bird price, and convention ticket prices will go up. So between the savings and just the early bird price, I mean, right there, that's $600, and they're only paying $799 for the pack. So $799 for the pack with 500 volume, and they're getting over $400 in product savings, $199 for the convention ticket. And it makes a lot of sense, because if you're enrolling somebody at that pack, they're a business builder, they're excited to start their business, already having a convention ticket right out of the gate is an amazing perk, because now they're going to come to convention, they got all these new products. They just started their business. They're $800 in, and they have their convention ticket. So this leading up to the convention, because right now convention really is the next, that's the next big event to promote. So this is if I were building right now, this would be the physical product pack that I would lead with for a couple reasons. First off, it's 500 points. So as a builder, I'm thinking, well, I only need to go get 2 people to hit 1K. So it's very duplicatable, where it's like 2 people's 1K, plus there's big commissions for enrolling that pack. So by duplicating that pack, not only are you going to rank up faster and create more volume in your organization, you're going to have more people that are ranking up, and you're exposing your people to a large variety of products in the house of brands. So instead of pigeonholing them into just one brand or one product, and then you don't know if they're going to discover everything else, this is like, you're giving them everything right out of the gate so they can try all of the products and then start duplicating with this pack. So that's the pack I would lead with, especially in the US. And if I was building in Europe as well, I would lead with this pack, because the pack currently is in the US and Europe. In the international markets, my strategy would be to lead with the Akashics 1999, because that's 1,200 points. So I look at everything like strategy. That's what I would lead with in US and Europe. And in international, I would lead with the Akashics annual, because I want to create the highest volume possible on the entry so that everybody has bigger ranks, bigger volume, bigger checks. And then if they duplicate that, my volume is going to be way higher than focusing on maybe like a 30-point order or a 40-point order or a smaller product or pack as my duplication. So this was at request of some of the top leaders in the company, and I thought it made a lot of sense. The other thing about the House of Brands pack is they are active in the business, and they're an executive for their first 90 days. So that's another huge selling point. Like, you tell somebody, like, look, if you get in this pack, you're saving $400 on product. You're saving $200 on the convention ticket, and you're active and an executive for the first 90 days in the business. So that's, to me, again, the best product pack now to sell in the company. Okay, another thing I want to quickly share is we're going to be doing a really cool campaign this week. It's a win-back campaign. This is the first time we've ever done anything like this. It's a campaign that's going to be going out to inactive affiliates in the company. And these are affiliates that have been inactive for at least 90 days. So if they're 3 months inactive, then they're going to get this email. Now, it's also going to go out to inactive customers as well, but only inactive affiliates are going to be purged from the system. We don't purge customers from the system. There's no point in purging customers out of the tree, but we don't want customers to not be able to take advantage of this promotion. So the way that this is going to work is it's going to be a win-back campaign to try to get inactive affiliates to spend $100. Okay, that's the campaign. If you're inactive customer, inactive affiliate, the goal is to get you to come back to MDC to spend $100. Now, why would somebody come back and spend $100? Well, for a couple reasons. If somebody was in the business, let's say 3 years ago, we only had 3 or 4 brands, but now there's 10 brands that are preferred. There's 7 that are launched in marketplace. There's more brands that are launching. So we were a different company 3 years ago. We were a different company a year ago. We were a different company 5 years ago. And so the point is, there may be a lot of new products that those people are interested in, and they haven't been here, for a long time. So maybe their frame of reference is that, MDC only has, HempWorks, or MDC only has sprays, or MDC only has, a couple products. But the reality is there are a lot of products that they could come back and purchase. So that's the idea, is to get them to come back and spend $100 on either products that they loved previously or new products that they haven't tried out yet. And the way that we're going to do that is by sending this campaign out. And it's very simple. If they spend 100, they're going to get 100 in loyalty rewards. So it's a hot campaign because they're spending 100 to get 100. So for $100, they're actually getting $200 in in product spending. So they're basically getting a $100 product credit for committing to come back and spend $100. So our hope is that we can reactivate and relight a good percentage of our database, but we need your guys' help because there's only so much we can do as a company. Like, we can send emails out, we can send text blasts out, we can share this with the leadership team, but it's you guys that are going to make the difference. If you reach out to your inactive affiliates, if you are the person that's going to create that win back in your organization, like, you're going to have way more success than just relying on the company to send an email out. It's so weird these days. Like, we can send an email out and like some people will look at it, but some people won't. And what I've noticed is that everything rises and falls on leadership. Okay. Everything rises and falls on leadership. So when you have a lot of active leaders that are reaching out to their team saying, look, come back, spend 100, get 100. Like, do you want a free $100 in product credit? All you got to do is come back, spend 100. And here's the thing, on August 1st, those people are actually going to get purged out of the tree. They're going to be gone out of the tree on August 1st if they haven't been, active for the last 90 days. So not only are they're getting a free $100, but if they don't do this, then they're losing their position in MDC. They may have people under them. They may have volume under them. And now, of course, those people could rejoin the business later, but they're going to fall at the bottom of your organization. And so it's a great opportunity for you to go out, reach out to your inactive people, get them back. And, some people have large organizations. There may be a lot of people that are just waiting for a phone call or waiting for a reach out to come back. So that campaign is going to be happening this week. We're just tightening up a couple of the programming things today and tomorrow. And then we're going to be getting that blasted out to the database. We will update you guys. We'll post a notification, when that campaign is live. But a very smart and strategic way to go after your database, your team, your organization, and bring back a lot of business. Okay, now let's talk about events real quick. There's two really important events that are coming up. And the first one is the event that we're doing in London. So just so you guys know, the UK, in terms of Europe, the UK, the United Kingdom and Hungary are tied in terms of volume, in terms of sales. Those two markets are the top two markets in MDC in all of Europe. So we just did two events in Budapest. We had a boot camp event there. We had an acceleration event there. And then all of a sudden, London and the UK started to really grow and create a lot of volume. So we thought it would only be fair to also do events there to try to get our ground game going throughout Europe. So we are going to be doing an event in London. It is an acceleration event. There's only 500 seats available for this event. So we need your guys' help and support to fill that venue, because here's the thing. If we can fill that venue in Europe, there's a good chance that we could have a view from the edge in Europe. Because the one thing about doing the view in the United States is not everybody from Europe can make it to that event. So if we want to get to the point as a company, which we do, where we're doing a view there in Europe, we have to be packing out the venues for these smaller events like boot camps and acceleration. So if you go to mdcliveevents.com, you'll see two events that pop up on that page. The first one is London. Get that event out to everybody that you know in Europe. Okay, everybody that you know, everybody in your organization, every prospect you have, every affiliate, every customer, get that out to your organization so that they can get tickets and come to that event. It's going to be amazing. You're going to have Mark Aceta there. There's going to be top leaders there. And we have announced that Jenna and I will be going and attending that event in London. So if you want to meet us out there, if you're in Europe and you haven't had a chance to shake our hand or take some pictures or things like that, that's going to be a great opportunity to do so. I know the Hungarians will be there. I know that we've already had, I'm looking at the tickets. There's already tickets purchased from all over Europe that are going to be there at that event, from Malta, from Romania, from Hungary. So it's a great time to start pushing and promoting the London event. After London, the big event is convention, which is going to be in Miami. And this year, convention is going to be a little bit different because one of the things we have this year that we didn't have last year is we have marketplace. So now it's going to be, we have a really cool idea. I'll share a little bit about it on this call. But imagine that when you come into convention in Miami, it's going to be like almost like a trade show. So as you're walking into the venue, our vision is to have, booths everywhere where there's food, there's, music. And at all of these booths, you have our preferred brands. So like, for instance, you'd have an Akashics booth. And somebody that is at that booth is a specialist that is training, talking about the Akashics brand. Could be an educator. It could be somebody super knowledgeable about the product offering. Then you could have like a HempWorks booth if you wanted to learn more about CBD or try some of the products. But then you're going to have all of our brand partners as well. So the way that you can discover all of these brands and learn about them and try all of them is going to be, at this like trade show style marketplace where you can go from booth to booth, have a great time, try all these different products out, learn about all the products that you have available in MDC. And so that's a little bit what convention is going to look like. There will still be amazing training, recognition. You'll see some brands get launched on stage. And so we definitely want to pack that, that venue out. And look, every time at convention, when people show up, what they say is, man, I wish I had more people at this event. For the last 9 years, every time we've done a convention or a big event, that's what people say. I wish I had more people at this event, because if I had more people at this event, I'd have more momentum. I'd have more people fired up. And so the way that you build a huge business in network marketing is you have to get your people close to the fire. And here's another thing that's interesting. If you look at a fire burns from the bottom up. Okay, a fire burns from the bottom up. It doesn't burn from the top to the bottom. If you want to create a fire in your organization, you have to go to the bottom of your organization. That's where you create the fire, and then it burns all the way up through the upline. So what you want to do to promote convention is number one, buy your ticket, because it's really hard to tell people to do something that you haven't done yet. Like, the universe won't allow that. If you're like, hey, buy your ticket, but the reality is you haven't bought your ticket yet, you're not posting that you're going, you're not really committed yet. So it's hard for you to go out and tell people to do something that you haven't done. So step one is buy your ticket. You're sending something out in the universe that you're going to be there because you've committed enough to buy a ticket, and then your team is going to follow. So step one is buy your ticket. Step two is start talking to every leader in your organization. When I was promoting conventions in my first company, when I was a distributor, I figured it out. I figured out how to do it. I started out, I only had a handful of people the first year. It got a little bit bigger the second year, a little bit bigger the third year. By the fourth or fifth year, most of the people that were at the venue were in my organization. And the way you want to do it and the way you want to think about it is like this. Look at the total number of people in your organization. Okay. Let's say it's 500. Okay. Let's say it's 1,000. Let's say it's 2,000. you need to know as the upline leader that every single active person in your organization has been pitched on convention. Because if you're just sitting back, right? Like if you're just sitting back and you're posting about it, you're talking about it with some of your leaders, but you don't actually know that every single person has had a conversation with somebody in the upline that's selling them on why they need to be at the event. If you don't know that, then that could be one of the reasons why you don't have a lot of people confirmed yet for convention. So look at your total number of people. If it's 5,000, if it's 1,000, if it's 3,000, you need to get in touch, either yourself personally or through your leadership team. You need to get in touch with every single active person and make sure they know about convention. Because if you think of it this way, if you don't do that, you're doing a disservice to your organization. If you think of it this way, every single person that you bring to convention, you have a better chance of that person staying in the business, ranking up, hitting the top rank. Like it's almost like it's like orientation. If you got a job and you have to do an orientation or a company training or a company meeting, in most industries, it's mandatory. There is no choice. Well, I'm not going to attend the company orientation. If you do that at your job, typically they replace you. You get fired because they know the value of people that are plugged in to what's going on. So the way, again, that you get your team plugged in is you have to drag them into the fire, and then the fire burns, it gets created, it creates that momentum, and then it trickles all the way up through the organization. And I mean, there's some comments here. It is a tax write-off. I mean, you are 1099 as an affiliate. Write off your convention ticket, write off your hotel cost, and write off your flight cost. And then it's a savings on your taxes. But there should be no reason why people don't show up to convention. Like, it is the most important event of the year. It's the biggest event of the year. It's the most impactful. That's where all of the magic is created in the company. And so under no circumstances do you guys want to miss that or have people in your organization say, oh, I didn't even know about the event. That is the worst thing, is when people in your group don't even know about the event. Man, it's like there could be gold in your organization right in front of you. And all you have to do is grab a hold of those people, drive them into the event, let the event create the the fire, and you'll be on your way to ranking up and creating more momentum in your organization. Okay, another thing is we have a new brand partner that we demoed on stage. We had her speak at The View. It's the ICANN Institute. Really cool personal development product. It's a digital product. There's some great tools that you can use if you're trying to lose weight, trying to build your business. It's an amazing product that will be added today. We're working on a couple of the last minute onboardings, and then there will be a Zoom call that will be announced. It'll be a live stream, and you can drive your teams to that. Definitely attend it so you can learn about that product. It's a great price, and we couldn't be more excited to have Deb Erickson on board. ICANN is just absolutely incredible. You guys will absolutely love that product, and it's such a great cost where like literally everybody in the company should have it. It's not high cost at all. It shouldn't be a burden to anybody, and I believe some of the tools that are in there can tremendously help you with your weight, if you have weight management goals or weight loss goals, health goals, personal and business goals. I think that product is absolutely incredible. So we will be releasing that information here shortly. Okay, last thing I want to share, and then we'll be done for this communication call, is this is something that the leaders of the company have been asking for a long time. I think it's really important, and I think that the timing of this could not be better than right now. And what it is you have, let's put it this way, in MyDailyChoice right now, I mean, guys, we have so many badass leaders. Like, usually you don't get all these badasses in one deal. I just want to be honest. Like, You don't get a Robert Hollis and a John Haremza and a Jefferson and a Chris Robin. Like, you don't get all of these leaders in one company. Usually it's one of them in one company, or two of them if you're really lucky. And that's just a couple people I mentioned. There are so many ridiculous leaders in My Daily Choice, and a lot of them are doing their own things. They got their own international markets. They're promoting different products. And we put together this amazing mastermind alliance group with the top leaders in MDC. And one of the things that they wanted to do is create unity amongst all of the different teams in My Daily Choice, because if we're going to go to 1 billion and beyond, we all have to be singing the same song. We all have to have the same tune. We all have to be promoting the same thing so that there's unity, so there's duplication, so you don't have 50 different teams doing different things. They all got their own team names. They all have different strategies, different systems. We're creating unity in My Daily Choice. And I'm so grateful that the leaders of the company even want to do this, because a lot of times when you're dealing with top network marketers, their egos are so freaking out of control that nobody wants to work together. But that's totally not this group. These guys and gals are, they're humble, they're willing to work together, they're team players. And we decided to launch the first ever weekly opportunity call to help you close more prospects. So if you're like, don't know what to promote, don't know what to plug into, you got people that are interested, you're not sure what to send them, this is your call to send them to, because you're going to have multiple of these top leaders every week tuning in to share the opportunity, share the products, have some testimonies, and a call to action for people to get back to who referred them to get started right away. And so this week is the first one. It's going to be on Thursday. It's going to be every week on Thursday, like clockwork. And there's going to be leaders that rotate in and out of this weekly opportunity call. And then some of them, Jenna and I will be featured on them as well. So it's going to be a rotation. You're going to see some top leaders one week, some top leaders next week. Jen and I will pop on, maybe once a month. But the idea is to get into a rhythm of driving people into these Zoom calls. So instead of having to do so many individual Zoom calls throughout the week, there's a big company one. Like, the company is going to be pushing and promoting this call out. So it's not just like a leader ran thing. It's a company and leader ran thing. We're partnering with the leadership. We're going to be pushing and driving this call every single week so that you guys have a platform to drive your prospects into. And think of it this way. You drive your prospects into it this Thursday. Let's say you bring 50 people on Thursday. And if I can get some flames in the chat, how many of you are going to bring 10 people? How many of you are going to bring 25 people? And how many of you are going to bring 50 people? Throw some flames in the chat and put the number for what your goal is, for how many people you're going to drive to the first one on Thursday. Okay? Put some flames in the chat, put some numbers in the chat for how many prospects you're going to drive on Thursday. So let's say 50 is your number. If you bring 50 and let's say 10 of them join, then you're going to take those 10 people and you're going to tell them to do the same thing and drive people to the one next Thursday. Okay? So the goal is to create duplication. You drive your team in, or you drive your prospects in on Thursday. However many people get started, you're going to take those people. They're all going to do the same thing next week. And then next week, let's say you have 50 people or 100 people. However many get started, same thing. You're going to drive everybody to the following one. So the goal is to make kind of like you want your audience and your attendance to get bigger and bigger and bigger, every single week. And if everybody here on this communication call can commit to just bringing 10 people, because I said 10, 25, and 50. Not everybody's going to get 50. But if you can commit to getting 10 people every week, you will be on the top of the leaderboard in MDC, because all of these top leaders coming together are going to do a dynamic presentation to get your prospects enrolled for you. So when I first got started in network marketing, I had to do the presentation. and I sucked at doing the presentation. So it was like, if there was a better presenter, I would much rather leverage like a superstar that's going to present for me. All I have to do is drive people in, and then that presenter is going to say, look, get back to the person who brought you on, get started, like bring people to the next one. Like, you know, that would have helped me tremendously when I first got started in network marketing. We didn't have a bunch of amazing leaders in the company yet to do this. Like, you guys have no clue how lucky you are to have this many dynamic leaders coming together to do this presentation, to unite all of the teams in MDC. Like, you guys have no idea. Like, that's never been done before in network marketing. Number one, there's never been this many seven-figure earners in one company. But there's also never been a call like this where they're all willing to work together and do a clockwork every week, so that every team, no matter what organization you're on, no matter what leg you're on, can plug in and create duplication with this. So this week, it's going to feature Chris Robinson, Jefferson Santos, Robert Hollis, and John Haremza. Okay, I don't need to tell you the accolades of those four, but let's put it this way. Chris Robinson, multiple seven-figure earner. Jefferson had a team of millions of people in his organization. John Haremza, every company he's been in, multiple seven-figure earner. Robert Hollis, over $50 million in earnings in network marketing. Those four are super dynamic leaders that are going to be on this call at 6 o'clock. So it's going to be Thursday, 6 p.m. And we put together a very simple URL for you guys to use, and it's houseofbrands.info. Okay, houseofbrands.info. I'm posting it in the chat. When you click on that URL, you're going to see the registration page on Zoom, and you'll see the times and everything like that. So you can start promoting that URL out. It's an incredible lineup. And you guys, again, if you start plugging people into that call, you're going to start getting signups every week. And by the way, it's going to be Pacific. So 6 o'clock Pacific, and it's going to be like that every Thursday. So make sure you get, I mean, look, it's Tuesday right now. So you have today and you have tomorrow and you have some of Thursday to promote that event. So let's all go out as a company. We're gonna promote that out via our channels, but we need your guys' help to pack that out. We want Zoom to be totally packed out on that call. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to this communications call. I hope you guys